Welcome back, everyone, to DSP Reacts, to the continual fall of Wings of Redemption here on DSP Reacts. We are 40 minutes into the hour 40-minute documentary. So we're doing 20-minute segments essentially that are turning into hour-long videos. So I can definitely foresee this being at least another 3 hours. Hoo boy, but I'm ready for that. Hope you guys are enjoying so far. If you are, if you could give this video a like, if you could leave some comments on the video for engagement, that would help. Perhaps consider becoming a member. Maybe a super thanks, maybe a tip. All appreciated. Thank you to those who support the content here. In the meantime, we're coming off of that really heavy segment where essentially Wings really did something really badly there with his wife and did not handle the situation properly, in my opinion, and that's pretty indefensible. All right, so let's go ahead and continue and see what. Of course, we have to go back to Painkiller already to see what the fucking peanut gallery of former friends have to say about Wings' behavior.
Something that someone with, you know, like an anxiety kind of issue usually does. They'll ponder over it, stew over it, then last minute they're like, I can't do it, fuck it. I'm just gonna
that's him. That's 100% him.
That's what happened with the we already talked about this. This was the camping trip, correct? Where basically he was gung-ho to do it, and then last minute his depression, his anxiety overcame him. He felt like it was going to be a whole trip about him, probably about making jokes about him failing, not being able to camp properly, and his anxiety wore him out, and he didn't do the camping trip. This is what I'm referencing is from the last documentary. Again, you want to watch the Down the Rabbit Hole or the first part of this documentary that June the King did. They addressed that in those videos, okay? So it's a repeat situation, right? The anxiety creeps up on him, and when it does, he cancels. He can't handle it. He doesn't want to do it. Now, it's fine if he wanted to cancel it. I'm not even going to criticize that decision. I'm going to criticize the fact that he handled it in the way he did with his wife. That was really messed up, in my opinion. So,
thing where like he's a real worrier and super pessimistic about things, and especially if it's something he doesn't want to do. Like Taylor was talking about how like the day before he's gonna like do a big workout, he's like making all these elaborate plans and like aiming high.
What is wrong with
I think
fucking
Wings
Kyle's
sometimes does the
webcam?
opposite.
It looks like
he's
it's
like,
a
if I do
1980s
this,
choppy music
all
video.
these awful things can happen.
Jeez,
Relationships, in their instability, tend to have even more pressure pressed on them than a typical non-public relationship. Any moment, captured live or otherwise, may be recycled and brought up at any point in the future as a demonstration in its strengths or failures.
Exactly right.
This period in time seemed to fuel the latter.
Now, and the other thing, the whole, he took a clip in the car about her crying because of bariatric pressure. What the fuck was that? After it happened, just stay quiet. Don't say a word. You don't have to say another thing about that fucked up situation, right? At all. Why? I don't know what that was supposed to be, an attempt at damage control, and that did not work.
Because exactly a month later to the date, the tables were turned, and it was now Kelly receiving
What is
flack
this now?
when a now deleted video exposed her leaked flirtatious messages with some of Jordy's mods.
What?
It was soon after this that he reacted directly to the messages on stream, finding some messages harder to defend than others.
The short and long of it is that Wings' wife had been carrying on sort of a flirty relationship with some of his moderators, his Twitch moderators, I suppose,
Discord
in the Twitch moderator Discord that they have. And like to the point where like they were driving together and she wouldn't show him her phone because she's like having like private conversation with one of his fucking mods.
Like, you boo, you know I love you. This is right here is honest flirting. This again, honest flirting. This is one day after Valentine's Day, and I just bought her diamond earrings. Look at the dates. See, January 30th.
What is going on here? What is this? Wait, he's doing this live on stream? This is a live stream he did. Is he public shaming his wife? I'm so confused. So, his moderator... Now, I really don't understand this. His moderators were apparently flirting with his wife. Was this intentional to catfish the wife to get into a situation like this? In which case, what kind of mods do you have, man? You know? And to be quite frank, okay? Can I be quite frank here? All right? You know, for me with my wife, the trolling and shit is so bad. Like, we all have enough stress in our lives. the last thing she needs to do is get involved with any of my business shit. Really, like there's, you know, it's already bad enough. There's no way that my wife would ever want to be involved talking with my moderators, being part of my stream. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have that separation for a reason, a good reason, so that there's no fucking harassment, there's no stress, none of it, there's no crossover. So there's no potential that anyone could be doing anything malicious to anyone. You know what I mean? And again, it seems like this is a situation where this didn't happen. There's just complete crossover of personal and business, private and public. It's all crossing over, and it leads to these really bad situations, right? You know, can we call you later? Why would a moderator of his be asking to call his wife directly for anything? Doesn't make any sense at all, right? Like, what the fuck? Why would your moderator want to talk to your wife? No. Is my wife my stream? What are you trying to do with this? Right? It's terrible. So again, it seems to be like, again, his moderators aren't even trustworthy. They're catfishing his fucking wife. Now, because how did these logs get leaked? Right? Probably one of the moderators, right? And then he's doing this, again, he's doing this on stream. Why are you doing this on stream? You're publicly shaming your wife on stream?
Can we call this could be anybody adding the text here? This is when Joe Man came to visit us. And I don't know what they're trying to get right here. It says, yes.
Joe Man, that was you?
And he's
blocked your
like,
face.
tell
That's
me who the
bizarre.
fuck you're talking to. Tell me who this is so I can demod them. And she's like, well, how about I just leave the Discord? And then that way it's not an issue anymore. And I guess he agreed to that.
What?
Even with these flirtatious
No. 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 Okay, hold on. No. 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 N-O. No. 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 Hold on a second here. No. 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 That moderator is leaving. That person obviously is someone who is there to be malicious to you. They're gone. You need to know who that person is. No, I'm defending the person by leaving the Discord. No. That moderator is out of my community for good from now on. Right? No. No. Oh, I'll just leave the Discord. No, 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 no. This person is now untrustworthy. You can't leave that person as part of your moderating team. There's obviously something going on here. Like I said, that seems to me like that was blatant catfishing. That was someone trying to get the wife to say that shit. Now what did I do?
Sky does Minecraft.
Oh, God. Sky does Minecraft. No. Now I really screwed up. We got to get back to that point. But the point I'm making here is no, absolutely not. That is a horrible idea to keep that person on your mod team or whatever.
Like, and especially if it's something he does.
Let's just skip back and I fucked up.
And then a typical non
Terrible. No.
flag. When a now deleted video
We're almost done with this, I think. This topic. We move on to a new one.
Fucking mods.
Like, you know, I love you.
So I
This
guess
is
the
right
question
here,
here is, who was the
honest
mod? Did he ever
flirting.
figure it out?
This
Or could
again,
this people
honest
still be a
flirting.
mod? Could this person still be one of his
This is
fucking
one
mods?
day after Valentine's
right?
Day.
That's
And
just
I
crazy.
just bought her diamond earring. And I don't know what they're trying to get right here. It says yes.
Okay.
And he's like, tell
That's
me who the
bizarre.
fuck you're talking to. Tell me who this is so I can demod them. And she's like, well, how about I just leave the Discord? And
Why does
then
Kyle always know all about his business too? It's always Kyle. You notice that? It's just like he's telling everyone else on the show about it, right?
that way it's not an issue anymore? And I guess he agreed to that.
Even with these flirtatious messages laid out for the world to see, Jordy's marriage held. And Kelly stated that after this whole ordeal, she'd be wiser in the future.
I love Jordy. I'm not cheating on my husband. I'm not talking to anyone in any type of way that would be misconstrued. Yes, there's some things that were taken out of context. I'm currently having to deal with that. Trust me, I'd be wiser in the future. I don't know. I don't know, man. Some of those messages, I don't know about context in those. You know, but again, you have a situation where, why did that situation even exist to begin with?
A future that for at least 4 months, from April to August, was mostly drama-free. The most notable thing that happened within this time was that Jordy lost his Twitch partnership for breaking the mysterious Exhibit D. On the content guidelines, this is a rule against certain types of promotions. But there was also word that Exhibit D was in reference to something specific to Jordy's contract. While he was still allowed to stream on the website, he lost his partnership status. This allowed him to stream on YouTube, as normally partners are contracted to stream solely on Twitch.
Now I have to call this shit out, because I actually, now this is me, and I have no concrete evidence to connect the two, but it was very weird that within, I think it was within 1 month, was it within 1 month? Within 1 month of me losing my Twitch partnership, and I was still allowed to stream on Twitch, but within 1 month of me losing my partnership, he lost his. Does that make any sense? We were always on this website with no issue, right? Every once in a while, you get a little stupid suspension for bullshit, and it gets revoked or whatever, and you're fine. All of a sudden, we both lose our partnerships within 1 month. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. That sounds like Twitch had an intentional agenda to go through and find people who they would be considered problematic and remove them from their money-making avenues. You see what I'm saying? Like, basically, I think what was happening was they were going through and taking a look at, number one, people who maybe skirted the rules but always stick around. But then they were looking for people who also had these online hate communities against them. You know what I'm saying? I think at this time, this was about 2 years ago now, Twitch was looking to change the direction of their site. And they were somehow afraid that having certain types of people stream there was going to be a situation where they would get negative flack. So, for example, in my case, I actually know, I have evidence that the reason that I was removed from Twitch's partner program is because my trolls contacted them with the King of Hate moniker and essentially sent them a montage of things that I did over the years, most of them over a decade old. Yes, including my infamous, stupid, bad taste Nazi joke, which I have apologized for endlessly over the years, but a few other things as well. You know, back when I used to be an equal opportunity offender, and I used to say I would say things that were racial or sexual constantly. So basically, they made a montage of this, and they kept sending, it wasn't just one person, it was a bunch of people, kept sending this to Twitch. They were sending it to the streaming services I was using for pop-up messages. They were sending it to all these companies, Teespring. Collectively, within 2 months, all these companies drop me and say they don't want to be with me anymore. But you were okay up to that point. And the stuff you're watching is stuff that I did over a decade ago. So, like I said, there was this weird concerted effort, okay, to get me kicked out of everything. And then, all of a sudden, he gets kicked off the site too, he gets kicked out of the partner program too, within like weeks? How does that make any fucking sense? Right? It feels to me, it does, it feels to me like they were definitively trying to get problematic people off the site, even if those people didn't do anything to violate the rules. Now, for the record, that's illegal. You have to actually show that someone violated rules in order to terminate a contract. It's just, that's how contracts work. When you sign with a contract on each side, there's an agreement. You can't just say, well, I'm terminating your contract. Well, why? Well, we don't have to tell you. Yes, you legally do. So in my case, they claimed hate speech, hateful speech. Then I said, prove it. And they refused, and then they ghosted me. They said, oh, you can reapply in a year if you want, but that's it. We're not talking anymore about it. We don't have to. Yes, you do. And if I tried to sue them, they would be in trouble. Okay? In his case, they're saying Exhibit D, some weird gambling clause or something? Is that what it was? Gambling? Is that what he said? What did he have to do? What did he ever do that had to do with gambling? Right? Again, this to me, this is grasping at straws. This is called, we want to get rid of certain groups of people, so we're just going to justify it by just saying bullshit. And our defense is we have no legal right, that we don't have to defend it. Because we know these people will never sue us in court over it, right? It's pretty fucked up. It is. That's why when people to this day, when they say to me, will you ever go back to Twitch? Like, not if I can help it. If I have to go back to Twitch temporarily because something happens on YouTube and I just stream there temporarily, but I would never, ever go back and try to join the partner program or do any, that would be the stupidest shit I could possibly do. At a moment's notice, all right? At a moment's notice, this company, Twitch, can just say, you did something wrong and shut you down with no justification. They did it to me. They said I said the N-word. I never said the N-word on Twitch. What are you talking about? And then they, oh, I didn't do it. What are you talking about? Okay, you're restored. What? No, but why did you punish me to begin with? That's what I mean. It's like, you can't punish someone and then have them prove their innocence. It's innocent until proven guilty. Show the evidence I did something wrong, then punish me. Don't punish me first. So why the hell would I ever want to go back to Twitch to do any kind of business? I'd be a moron, right? So in this case, this is similar to me. They throw bullshit at him. I'm sure he asked, what are you talking about? And they probably refused to tell him what he did wrong. I almost guarantee you that's what happened. It's fucked up. But again, what kind of a business operates like that? And it's weird that he gets removed from the partner program only like weeks after me. It doesn't make, you know what I mean? Again, here's what happened. His trolls, my trolls, they're mass bombing, you know, Twitch. And saying, get these guys off because they're horrible people, this and that, this and that. It's exactly what it is. And Twitch has enough, and they're like, all right, we had enough of the false reports, we had enough of this, we just don't want to deal with it anymore. So we're just going to remove them from the partner program. Now, if they want to continue to stream here, they technically didn't violate the terms of service. But at least if we're separated from them financially, no one can ever blame us for them making money on our site. You see? It's fucking dirty business. It's messed up, you know. Anyway, let's continue. But yeah, it's pretty fucked up what happened to him and me at almost the same time.
But Jordy claims that came at the cost of tens of thousands of dollars because he was making more on Twitch.
I will 1,000,000% vouch for Jordy here. 1,000,000%. Since I have left Twitch, I have never made as much money. I am 2 years consistently now. I'm just a full-time YouTuber, and I make less money. Not a lot of people want to become a member on YouTube. They think that the memberships here have far inferior features. People don't get Twitch Prime memberships on YouTube, so you lose that revenue. And even with the bits and everything, for some odd reason, people were always more forthcoming with cheering on Twitch than they are with super chats on YouTube. Okay? It's very hard. Discoverability. If you wanted to find me on Twitch streaming, you could find me. It's hard to find me streaming on YouTube. You have to already be subscribed to the channel, even know I'm there, you know? I will vouch for him there. That I lost a lot of money since I can't do anything on Twitch with the partner program anymore.
During this time, there was continued frustration within the trolling community, with Jordy maintaining his eating habits. This all relatively minor when compared to Jordy's past scandals, though it's almost unnatural for him to go months on end without something major taking place. And that is what we call the calm before the storm. To provide context to what is about to happen, there seems to be an idea that Jordy, due to an endless wealth of clips online of him doing or saying things that may be considered controversial, that his streams are packed with that frustration and that there is no effort not to feed the trolls. How it's actually like is that Jordy has a mostly passive chat that at times he plays into depending on...
Oh look, there's Actor Michael Merchant. Let's see who we can recognize here. Actor Michael Merchant, Elder Gamer 420. I see two people I recognize from my chats in there.
His mood, and is more honest in accepting his past mistakes. Even when his chat is flooded with rhetorical questions of controversial events that would annoy any person, Jordy does make an effort to answer the more legitimate questions, though that doesn't entirely stop or discourage his more persistent viewers looking to get a rise from him. Other times, usually when Jordy is in a bad mood going into the streams, he'll more likely than not answer these troll-like questions, which will induce more questions and so on. This is how you get the infamous Jordy disaster streams, where just a few minutes in time at his worst will result in months of circulation of this moment. The reason for him being in a bad mood was because police came to his house yet again.
Oh my God.
Not because of the typical swatter, but another form of impersonation trolling that we've seen in the past. This time it was played out a bit more aggressively and illegally.
I was talking. I'm streaming now.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I want to talk about this bullshit. What was the police thing? I had police show up to my fucking house hour and a half ago, almost 2 hours ago, stating I was harassing somebody from fucking Missouri on TikTok. So the police in their infinite glory called me a liar and threatened to get a warrant for telecommunications harassment against me. So I've made this little video. You look here, like this right here is like, look at this shit. Like, these trolls are making accounts on TikTok and fucking with people.
Children. This is his profile. So if you guys can, please go report him. Go blow his...
Like, he's got like 5 videos here. He's got all these followers, which are almost fake. And he's got all my shit linked, right?
Stuff up. This man is kidnapping children. But the reality is...
So, like, we go to something else here. Like, I scroll down here. This guy, Sam Get a Job, sent me stuff. So I'm looking for all the stuff he sent me right here. Like, here it is.
I'm really fucking sick of this motherfucker.
And like during my period as a delivery driver, I started hating black people more and more.
Read them. I'm really fucking sick.
This woman is the woman I think that's
my card.
Claiming. This is a veteran that they were fighting
10
against.
years. The beginning of my social begins with a 0. Have Mr. World War II, that's younger than me, prove that. Have him duet this one. Show me your fucking ID card, because I know you don't have one.
And like, I don't know who this woman is. I've never had TikTok.
going on?
I've never touched TikTok or anything. This is what the cops showed up about. This woman made a police report. She felt like somebody was going to come to her house and fuck with her. Dog, I've had the cops called to my house 4 times in the last 2 months. I've had 2 for fucking Bongo. I've had this one, and I've had another one for fucking like Craigslist shit. What's a fucking lawyer gonna do? You act like I've never talked to a lawyer before. They don't do shit.
This did many things within Jordy's community.
So wait, I just wanna understand the situation. So someone made a TikTok account saying it was him, using his pictures, using his video clips out of context, and then they basically would make negative posts against people, real people on TikTok. Those people would then feel like they're being massively harassed, and one of them contacted the cops, right? Huh. It's fucked up. Again, you know. Now, for the record, just so everyone knows, because this should be pretty public at this point. All right, I don't have a TikTok. I don't have a Facebook. I have very few social media accounts. I have an Instagram I don't use. All right, I haven't used it in 100 years at this point. I have a Twitter, one Twitter. I have a backup Twitter in case that Twitter gets taken down, because at one point trolls were fucking with that. And I have this YouTube channel, and I have my DSP gaming channel. All right, like that's it. And KO Gaming is a backup channel. If I ever need to use it, I have that, right? Like, that's it. I don't have any of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, so if you ever see anyone out there saying that they are Darkside Phil or DSP or Phil Burnell, and you see clips of me out of context, you know, being thrown at someone like that, it's not me, obviously. I don't have time for that shit. You know, I'm here 6 days a week full time. I'm not on these fucking websites doing this dumb shit. But that's fucked up. And you know, again, the problem with social media, how would you even know if it's real or not? Those people who are being attacked are innocent. How the fuck would they know that this is a fake thing? Right? They're being messed with by the trolls just as bad as Jordy is being messed with by the trolls. And now, of course, he has to deal with the repercussions of that, even though he's done literally nothing wrong in that situation, right? Pretty messed up, right? Let's see here. And Radical Jaws, thank you for a $4.20 tip. He says, after a week of having bad post-nasal drip, thanks for the kind wishes for his first 2 days. He thinks the internet is way too harsh to this guy. Never gave him a fair shake. Well, here's the thing. He's not above reproach. We already saw some pretty messed up stuff in this documentary. But definitely some of the stuff that he gets shit for, like this TikTok thing, he had nothing to do with, right? He's doing some wrong stuff at the same time. They treat him like he's a scum of the internet. Have a great day, Phil. Thank you, Radical Jaws. Appreciate that. Okay. see here. Thank you for that. First tip in many hours. I appreciate that, Radical Jaws. Okay. Cool. Let's continue. Man, that was a messed up one. I've never heard of that one before.
Did have the effect of building up some opposition to the worst parts of his trolling community, and it also brought attention to his years-old controversial statements that were being used largely by these TikTok impersonators. So with more attention being brought to Jordy, mimicking the attention he got pre-surgery and pre-Lexapro, his channel was a bit more active in the following streams. And with that came an increase of questions asking him about his previous controversial statements.
No.
So the mistake he made here was twofold. It was answering and feeding viewers that were most likely not genuinely asking questions, but looking to annoy Jordy, and this annoyance had him answer more and more. The second part of his mistake was, though he no longer agrees with it, and said he was saying it to be shocking several years back, he was trying to justify his previous statement on the age of consent.
Oh no, this is going to come up again because this was in the first documentary, remember? Oh no. Well, number one, I agree with feeding the trolls. 1,000,000%. Shouldn't be doing that. It seems like he leaned into the lol cow status when he should not have, in my opinion. That's my take. And number two, I completely agree that you should not be trying to justify past actions. Like, I would never try to justify the stupid Nazi joke and shit that I did in the past. I look at it now, I'm like, no, it's horribly wrong. Now I understand that because I'm older, I'm more mature, I get it. Back then, I was stupid, I was immature. I'm like, oh, I want, just like he says, a shock jock. That's what someone said, right? He said he was a shock jock. No, that's what I used to say. I was trying to be like Howard Stern. I was trying to make jokes like Howard Stern, and people thought they were funny back then. But then, you know, how stupid I was to do that. And now I understand. That's horrible. You're hurting people with those words. It's not just a joke. You can't be doing that shit, right? But here we go. If he tries to justify those comments, ugh.
I made a point that the new generation of females are whores. And that you have to be naive to think that young girls aren't already having sex. I did say the age of consent should be 12. You know why I said that? Because growing up in high school, I knew girls that were like 12, 13, 14, fucking on the regular.
By addressing these things and trying to defend them, he brought more attention to the older clips he was talking about.
Of course, this is gonna happen,
like when he played with a 17-year-old in Rainbow Six Siege and had a conversation with her which was a bit flirtatious.
Doc, it looks like you need some dick, son.
Sure, Doc got plenty of dick, son. Monsieur Legion, would you like to see the French croissant?
What's up?
Hey, y'all might make fun of my 5XLT, but that's just more gas tank for the love machine.
Ooh, I'd like that, Jordy.
Mm-hmm.
Jordy, your ass going to jail.
Or the nearly 10-year-old clip from his time on PKA, dated at March 16th, 2013.
If like a 16-year-old guy and a 16-year-old chick and they exchange naked pictures, that shouldn't be child. Like they're children themselves. It would be weirder if they were like, oh yeah, let me look at that.
I understand if the guy's like 45 and she's weird. 16. But like even 16 at 45, that I'd let that slide because a 16-year-old can make her own damn decisions. I'd cut child pornography off around 12.
I like the rules they have in Jersey and North Carolina.
Whoa.
Yeah, where would you cut child pornography off on?
No,
12.
Okay, he's differentiating between child and like sex offenders, you know, like a subset of sex offenders.
Oh, okay. So you're not saying that we should legalize.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying like if you get
okay.
Yeah,
I just had to make sure. I had to make sure you weren't putting the 13-year-olds in pornos.
I know a buddy of mine.
Normally, without the full context of Wings and his lack of eloquence, one might believe that Wings...
I mean, again, this shit keeps coming up, and at some point, right? At some point, you have to draw the line and be like, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. It was something stupid I said in my past, right? And, you know, I'm not going to deal with this anymore, right? I'm done with it. I moved on from it. But every time he brings it up, it just gets worse, right? That's the problem.
Actually likes children. Though there are other moments where Wings has said just as unthought out statements, like his many claims of being shot at his various places of employment.
I've been armed robbed 3 times and I've been shot.
To get a better picture and understanding of what some of you believe Wings to be,
Wings of Redemption believes people think he's a pedophile. I don't think anyone does. I think that's used to troll him. I want to know what you guys think. This poll will most likely be used in my video to cover his recent actions. Yes, Wings is a P. He's not a P. Okay.
I set a poll on Twitter to ask whether you believe Wings actually likes children, or if the narrative is just used more so as a vehicle for trolls. And these are the results. So it seems the majority of you, or just the 212 sample size that answered the poll, believe that Jordy, even with those clips out there, may consider them to be times he misspoke or are just examples of his lack of awareness or intelligence. But that may also be because many of the people who answered it are well aware of what kind of person Jordy is. Before we get into the storm and the chaos this caused for Jordy, we'll quickly cover the other significant things that happened in September. Like
so
when
September 2021? We're in 2021, correct? And we're only halfway done. So what the hell happened at the end of 2021 and early 2022 that's going to be the second half of this documentary? Oh, geez, I don't even know. I have no idea what we're going to see. Oh, boy.
Texting someone what appears to be several years back, Jordy sent a picture of his genitalia that was now available for the internet to see.
No!
The same day of the leak, Jordy...
No, come on! What? No! Not again. Dude, I thought we were done with this with Pro Jared, man. Why is this happening again? I did not know this was going to happen in this one. Please tell me there's no pictures coming up of him dressed as like Sailor Moon, please. I thought we were done.
But more importantly, his wife reacted to it being leaked, with her teasing Jordy about it.
How big do you think my penis is? Would you say it's more 6 inches?
I don't know.
Would you say it's the length of the water bottle?
I don't know.
What the fuck? What? No! No! No. This is way worse than the first documentary. Why didn't you guys warn me? This is way worse. What is he doing? You're right. I guess you're right. Someone just said the title of the documentary is "It Got Worse." What are you, stupid? I guess you're right. You just made a great point. I mean, you're absolutely correct. But okay, no. I mean, I sound like a broken record now, don't I? If you want to have this discussion with your wife or whatever, that's fine. Just not on camera in front of your audience. No. No.
You could answer it.
No. Stop. Okay.
I don't know.
How don't you know? You see it.
Do I?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no! No! Why? No, it's getting even worse. No! No.
What?
They're trying to say I got a small penis, and you won't back me up.
Why are you worried about that? Who needs to care how big your penis is but your wife? That's it. So why worry about what they think?
Mm-hmm.
You do stupid things, make stupid choices, you deal with stupid...
Okay.
She then proceeds to throw one of his infamous misspoken phrases back at him.
Oh, no.
I think you learned a valuable lesson, though.
What?
That
Every dude said.
Consequence has actions.
All right, ban Raiden Rotari. Consequences have actions, pimp.
There was also another stream where his wife approached him with what seems to be, after a doctor's appointment and having to deal with the anxiety of the possibility of her cancer coming back, she approaches Jordy on livestream and states that he isn't taking her doctor's appointment seriously enough.
This is going to happen again? This is another situation where she comes on live stream and they have an argument or whatever? No, come on. Oh my God. Again? I was just saying, did he learn? Okay, hold on. Hold on. Please, Lord Jesus and dear sweet baby Jesus, please let Jordy react better to this situation than the last. Please let him at least show a little bit of growth, a little bit of self-awareness. Please let him have done something differently in this second time. Please, 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 please don't let it be identical to the first time in this documentary. It's not going to be any better, is it?
What you mad at me for?
What is this kid texting me for? Tell unlimited UAV, what it
You're taking my doctor's appointment seriously enough.
Who the hell is with the Wendy's?
What do you mean?
I'm really scared.
Apologies, it's very hard to hear. I'm trying to understand what they're saying.
I don't even know what this motherfucker is.
You haven't got bad news yet. There's no reason to worry about until there's bad news.
You're not even acknowledging it, but you worry about everything else.
And we'll deal with it.
Drone has located a
You're
bomb.
gonna be okay. We'll deal with it.
Initially, it sounds like he's saying grow up and deal with it, though it may have been we'll deal with it.
No, I heard
as
we'll
he
deal with it. I didn't hear grow up and deal with it. I heard we'll deal with it. It was very hard to make out what they were saying.
Reiterates a second time. If it was the former, it would be quite damning. And now for the chaos, the uncontrollable mayhem that inhabited his streams from October until current day, and why it is all connected to his impersonators on TikTok. As that was enough to get the police to come to his house, and enough for him to be annoyed to the point where he talked about it on stream.
Again, a mistake. Again, a huge mistake. One thing that I've learned with the level of trolling that you get when you're considered one of these fucking lolcow bullshit nonsense memes on the internet is you just don't share anymore. The level of trolling, you don't tell people what's going on, because the more you mention, here's the thing about trolling. The reason they're doing it, number one, is to make you miserable, but number two, because they're hoping so desperately, so hard. Oh my God, I hope they talk about me today. I hope that I did something so bad that they will talk about me today and say what I did, right? Do you guys remember, it was many years ago when I was playing Black Ops 4 Blackout, a troll actually came on my stream proclaiming proudly that they had sent like a giant cardboard penis to my house. How did you like it? And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I never got it. I was like, what? And they were like proclaiming this like something they were proud of. Oh, the penis. I know you got it. I was like, I don't know what you're speaking of. What the fuck? This is what I mean. Like, they do these things because they're hoping that you're going to proclaim them, and then they get a big rise. Oh, something I did got attention, right? So in this case, his trolls are doing horrible things to him, all right? Obviously, should not happen. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I empathize with the guy for having similar things that have happened to me. But when you talk about it publicly and you say what it is and you say what's going on, that's just giving them, that's the egg on message, right? The best advice I can give to anyone out there who's been trolled, who's been doxxed, who's been harassed, you don't give the person the time of day. You ignore, you block, and you don't mention it. Because if they feel like they're going to get that reciprocation of attention, they're going to continue it, right? He, by talking about it, made these people get even more incensed, and that's what I mean. So now what's the next thing we can do? What's the next thing we can do to get the attention? And it keeps escalating. If you haven't noticed, it's escalating even worse every time, correct? Okay.
stream, he discussed his previous controversial statement on the age of consent.
Right, and then it blows
and
up.
with this fresh clip and the old one put together, someone ignorant of Jordy just by seeing these two clips could form a really bad opinion of him.
Yep.
Which brings us to October 2nd, 2021.
I don't know what this is.
User The Boulder and Brasher posted a 53-second long video on the subreddit I Am a Total Piece of Shit of those two clips put together, conveniently zooming in on the second clip as to not show the PKA episode and its age, which again was PKA 125, uploaded on March 16, 2013. As this was presumably many people's first introduction to Jordy, this post had an insane amount of traction, and upvotes going up to around 54,000.
Huh.
On the opposite side of things, Jordy's response on the post got negative 8,829 downvotes, enough to place him on the top 30, maybe even 15 most downvoted comments on Reddit.
I'm trying to see what the other comments are. Star Wars Battlefront, ripping people off, then Brigade. Literally asked for them. That was in Thanos. Thanos did nothing wrong. Huh? Mod abuse? What the fuck? Okay, this is why I'm not on Reddit. I shouldn't have even tried to read that page.
This day boosted attention to my previous video as seen by a spike in views,
Wow.
and no doubt had others interested in the rabbit hole that is Wings of Redemption. So striking while the iron is hot, another post on the same day and the same subreddit was uploaded with Jordy telling a joke involving race that got about 1/10 of the upvotes.
Black controller and a white controller, because when the black one don't want to work, the white one will.
No! No. Obviously that was old, but still. No!
Stop there. The following day, a about 11-minute long video was uploaded to the subreddit that accumulated nearly 9,000 upvotes, documenting Jordy's statements and actions that can be taken as animal abuse. Most of these clips are stories that may have been lies, like the bucket cat story that we previously covered.
Okay.
There's also this very old clip of his dog Riley, a stray he took in.
What's wrong with Riley?
What?
Well, he just laid down and pissed and shit all over the floor. He laid down.
I'll check.
He's got a history of
Hey,
not
guys.
interrupting his streams.
Riley is laying on his side. He's vomited and he's laying down, pissing and shitting. He doesn't want to get up.
Just to be sure, that is the dog, right?
Yes. I don't know how old he is. He's a stray. We picked him up probably 4 or 5 months ago. I don't want to take him to the vet because if he goes to the vet and it's going to cost $500 or $600, I'm going to have to put him down. We don't have rat poison in the house. He's vomiting and shitting, and that's not something that bloat does.
No. Did he go outside at all?
He goes outside 5 or 6 times a day to use the bathroom. But
Yeah.
but this just happened like when we was on the call. Like when I started this call, he was perfectly healthy, laying on the couch, chewing his bone.
What bothers most was not much what he did do, but rather his inaction,
Right.
or unwanting to get the dog immediate help. As much as these clips help to show the moments Jordy may have been negligent with animals,
So now they're moving on. So my comment on that is, I hate to say it, all right, it's just simple. When you have a pet, all right, and this is serious business talk now, as a pet owner. When you have a pet, you have a responsibility to be a parent to that pet and take care of it as if it is your own child. I'm sorry because some people don't believe that. I firmly believe that, okay? Oh, it was a stray. We took him in 5 months ago. And now we find out that he's sick. We have to put him down. And? Like, what? So you're just going to let him sit there on the floor then? Like, sorry, when you brought that dog into your house, you became that dog's caretaker. You took on that responsibility. I mean, there's no one else that took in that dog, right? That's why you see a stray, and if you don't think that you're going to be able to take care of that pet, you don't bring it into your home. You'll leave it out, you know, you call authorities, hey, there's a stray out here because someone can pick it up or whatever, get it to a shelter, but you do not take on those responsibilities. You have to take care of your pets, all right? And, you know, what he just said essentially showed that he didn't understand that. He took a dog into his home that he knows he can't afford if something goes wrong, then don't take the dog into your house. It's that simple. oh, no, I don't want to take him to the vet because I have to put him down. Well, if the dog is sick and dying and in pain, maybe it should be put down. Don't leave it on your floor being tortured, dying a slow, painful death. What is going on, right? Like, you got to do what's best for the pet at all times. And again, it's a level of human responsibility, and a lot of humans don't take pets seriously. They just think it's a frivolous thing. How many people, they go to the store with their kids, and next thing you know, they came home with a bunch of pets? Like, what? No. Did you ever think this out? Did you plan it out? Who's going to take care of the pet? How are we going to do this actively? How is it going to make sense? You have to do that shit. It's another living being you're taking that responsibility to caretake for. So this is a situation that's horrible. Like, that's, to me, the story of him killing a cat in a bucket could be horse shit. That's a story, that's documented, that happened. That's far worse to me, because that shows that he does have at least one situation where he was not responsible towards taking care of a pet. Yeah, the dog might have gone outside and ate a bunch of fucking rocks, and now it's dying, and you got to put it down. You don't let it sit there and be tortured for 2-3 days on your floor. You take it to the vet, man. What are you gonna do? You took the pet in. Now you deal with it. You accepted that level of responsibility. So now you live with the consequences. You know, I'm not gonna use the meme consequences has actions. I'm not gonna do that. I just said it, so it's just as bad. Okay, just so everyone knows, food should be arriving. Hold on, soon. Let me take a look, because I want to see how much longer we have before we have to take a break. They're not there yet. We probably got at least another 10-15 minutes before we'll split apart. And we'll do some food and then we continue on. Okay? Cool. Anyway, let's continue. We still have some time left. All right.
There is a sort of inflation with this compilation to build it up much larger than it actually is. The more damning clips of Jordy not acting with his dog having a seizure, running over or near his dog with a chair on accident, or attacking his barking dog's cage are placed in the beginning and are visibly, though not openly stated to be, year-old clips. Also in this 11-minute long compilation, the majority of clips, or about 7 of the 11 minutes, are about the time he hit a deer on accident and showed no remorse, further explaining putting a dog down after it had been mangled to a presumably non-recoverable state by a raccoon, a several-minute long section of him talking about treating his dog's heartworms, and stating, in another very old clip, how if he had to choose an animal, he would have sexual relations with a cow. So there is much of mixing.
Why? Oh. Cracker Jack says, do you remember when Jasper had a kidney infection? It was not a kidney infection. It was a urinary tract infection. And we had to take him to the vet, and it was a pain. And he got diagnosed, and we had to pay for medicine, and we had to basically that was actually when we started regularly feeding him wet treats, because we had to put his medicine every day into the wet treat. And it took about a week to clear up, and then he's fine, you know. But yeah, I remember. Oh, I remember. And that's the thing. We have that responsibility that if Jasper gets sick, we will take care of him, you know. What are you going to do? He's essentially like our son. He's not human, but he's still our responsibility. We are his parents, right?
And matching relevant and somewhat irrelevant clips to inflate the runtime and make it look much worse than it may be on a subreddit that has much of a reason to hate Jordy for the major post released the previous day. Not helping Jordy's situation was that during a stream shortly after this newfound attention, his wife argued that Jordy was saying the things related to children for shock value, and that he has changed over the past 11 years. But Jordy goes on to comment, specifically in reference to his wife defending him, quote unquote, "That's a terrible take."
I feel like the 12-year-old comment, I've said this in this stream as well, was something he said when he was young. He was doing it as a shock value. He's matured now and understands that comment is not appropriate.
That's a terrible take.
Okay, that's my take.
I don't want to talk about this, but I'll talk about it.
Oh, no. Don't.
First off,
no.
I'm not advocating underage sex, right? What I was advocating for is people getting child charges. It's not even called child anymore. It's called, what's it called? It's called like child splits of material or some shit like that. It's a much looser definition. Regardless, like when I was in school, and I'm sure other people will see this as well. Like girls started hoeing around right around 9th grade.
He's gonna do it again.
And you'd have dudes on their phones, and I remember back in the day. So like when toward the end of my high school reign, you'd have dudes with all kinds of like technically child phone, because like every girl, granted we were the same age at that point, but like I don't know, it's like I don't advocate it now, but the idea was saying it was like some of these girls be hoeing around, and like some girls will send that shit to you just to get you in trouble. Do I think? No, I disagree with that statement, but the statement was said as a shock jock statement. But I'm trying to rationalize why it was said.
What Jordy possibly means to say is that he's trying to put into question that in the past, that if these teens were sending explicit messages to each other, would it be fair to arrest them even if they were of the same age? But this contradicts the statement that he is directly referencing from several years ago that a 16-year-old and 45-year-old would be fine to be in a relationship.
God,
so the problem, for some, isn't entirely his unpopular comments. It's also that his stories don't seem to match up, because what Kelly was saying was also true. Jordy claims,
"Quit lying, you didn't poorly explain yourself. You quite literally doubled down on your statement and made the stream out to be stupid for questioning it. You've also made the shock jock claim literally any time you have said anything questionable. The fact is that you genuinely believe this garbage and have lost control of the web of lies that you have spun." Again, probably the thing that I have said that was the worst ever was the Nazi jokes that I made when I was playing a stupid Dead Space 2 demo, and I was very stupidly making jokes. It was awful. And the way that I tried to, again, like he does, rationalize it at the time, was that, hey, I used to watch Howard Stern, I used to listen to Howard Stern. And Howard Stern used to have entire characters that were parodies of Nazis. He used to have a show called Guess the Jew, right? You have to guess who's Jewish out of a group of people, and the Nazi would talk and joke about it and stuff like that. So I would say, this is the kind of humor I'm using, right? And I would try to defend myself. Of course, this is completely wrong, but I would try to defend myself saying, well, if he could do it, then why can't I? Well, there's many reasons. A ton of legit reasons why Howard Stern can do it and I can't. I mean, number one, he's Jewish. I am not. It's not okay for me to make those kinds of jokes, and I understand that now. But again, back then, I was a fucking idiot. And I admit that now publicly. I'm not going to go back and try to defend the stuff that I said in the past that was blatantly wrong like that. I mean, holy shit. You look at it now, you're like, dude, indefensible, doing dumb shit like that. He just keeps going back and trying to say, oh, I just want to rationalize and justify what I was saying. No, don't. No, don't. Just say it was wrong. And you've matured and you've changed and you've moved on from it because you understand now that it was wrong. Right? People can change and people can be forgiven from their past mistakes if they don't continuously keep repeating them. Correct? Correct? He keeps doubling down on this every time. Every time he keeps bringing it up. I'm like, dude, just give up and say, all right, you're never going to be cleared at all of saying this stuff. So just say it was wrong and I moved on. I don't believe it anymore. Now, oh, well, see, this is what I was trying to justify. Here's what I was coming from. No one cares. No one cares. No one cares that I was trying to make a joke like Howard Stern. No one gives two shits about that. Just say it was wrong and move on and don't do it again. It's that simple. And then people will probably say it's okay. We'll move on and say fuck it. But the fact that it just keeps coming up and it's always, oh, well, here's my rationale. No rationale. It's wrong. Move on. Shit. Damn, man. Okay. Food's probably almost here.
He said many of those controversial things, not just about children, but with animals, and his comments about race, to be shocking, and not because he believed in them, so why would he have to defend them in any other capacity?
Yeah.
His previous claims are too inconsistent, which takes credibility away from Jordy as he's shifting the narrative. This uncertainty and not laying out a clear picture to what his lies and current beliefs are, attached to his long history of lies to build himself up as a person many knew he already wasn't, will have those same people looking at Jordy in the worst way possible because his words mean very little. We'll further expand on this. In a stream, also by the end of the year, Jordy claims that a Sunny V2 video released on him makes him out to be worse than he actually is.
Hey, Nuclear Man. How long you gonna follow me?
I don't know.
So what caused you to start following me?
I just watched Sunny V2's video on how much of a piece of shit you are, and I just decided, well, you know what? I'm gonna just let this guy, you know how much of a piece of shit he is to a lot of different people.
Okay. Have you ever considered that Sunny V2's video might be biased? Because Sunny V2 doesn't do a whole lot of research into his videos, and he just takes other people's videos and compilates them together.
But less than a minute later, admits to not viewing any video on him.
I haven't watched Sunny's video or anybody else's.
Then again, with a few seconds later with that admission, goes on to say that the only video on him that is somewhat close to accurate is the Down the Rabbit Hole video, where he states even that had major portions wrong, though he fails to mention what is wrong in these videos.
But I know all, like the only one that's even somewhat close to like accurate is like the Down the Rabbit Hole video, and even then that's, I don't know.
I can definitely speak to this, okay? So here's the deal, all right? And I don't care if Sunny V2 hates me or whatever. I hate to say it, Wings is correct here. I have seen Sunny V2 talk about me in videos before, all right? Here's what Sunny V2 does. He watches other people's work, he lifts it, he copy-pastes it, and he says, with no context, that it's all factually true, all right? So, I'll give you an example, all right? There is a compilation that he made with me in it, saying it's like, oh, it's the worst YouTubers or whatever, the worst people on YouTube, and Wings is one of them, and I'm one of them, and there's many other people in the countdown as well. The facts that he brings up are not facts. He says the conspiracy theories against me, and he states that they are factually true. He says that all the horrible things about me are true. He doesn't say there's accusations. He doesn't say there may be some, you know, consequential evidence, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, he just says it's all true. And that you can't do. That actually is considered defamation or slander. Again, I always get the two terms confused. It's definitely, you can't just do that. You can say, oh, so-and-so did this supposedly, or so-and-so did this, you know, he's accused of this. You cannot say they did that without actually it being proven. It's actually illegal, okay? That's what Sunny V2 does. And a lot of those videos are like that on his channel, because I've seen quite a few, and I'm like, that dude, I know for a fact that's not right, but he doesn't care. He thinks that he's above it because he's popular, and he puts out these videos that get millions of views, and it's messed up. It's, you know, conspiracy and opinion versus actual proven fact. That's fucked up. I guarantee you, if he's done it to me, I guarantee you he's done it to him, and he's done it to many other people. Okay? But I've seen the videos. He's claiming he never saw them. I actually have. I've seen two different ones directly where Sunny V lies and says this is factual proof, or presents it as this is true without actually giving the context. Well, this is what a lot of people say. There's a lot of conspiracy. It's from his haters that say it. They don't say it. Oh, this is all what he's known for on the internet, why people hate him. But you didn't say that it's all, you know, supposed, right? And that's where it goes too far. Okay? And it's absolutely true that sadly you can have people who will now come after you because they think that it's true, because someone else said it was, right? So here's a direct example. Sunny V2 said that things were factually true about him that he feels or not. I don't know, because we don't know because he didn't watch the video. And now someone's harassing him directly on a stream. He's getting it right from the horse's mouth. Why are you harassing me? Oh, because I watched a video about you that says you're a piece of shit. Okay, do you know if it's factually true? Well, they said it was. Do you understand how dangerous it is on the internet to say things that are not true, but you say that they are when you have a following? And I've talked about this before. That is completely irresponsible for YouTubers to go out there and just to personally benefit, make hateful videos, you know, make fun of someone, joke about someone, because people will believe that that is 100% without a doubt, without a reasonable doubt, I guess, true. And then they will actually, sadly, go have actions based on that incorrect logic jump. And that's not right. And YouTube, sadly, doesn't hold anyone accountable for this. All right? It's fucked up. Really. There should be situations where people are held accountable for this shit. You can't be fucking just saying outright this was factually true. Take a look at what we're doing with this June the King documentary. Why is this documentary good? Because it's covering all these different angles. He's literally saying, in the case of the, you know, this going on with people saying things that, like, he's an animal abuser. All the clips that are taken are out of context, super old, right? They don't make any sense to be holding it against him today. Yet people do, like it just happened yesterday. That's not right. He's outright saying that in his documentary. Why? Because June has a moral compass. When he makes these documentaries, he's trying to let you realize that not everyone who's villainized on the internet is the devil. That everyone's a human and they make mistakes, and here's some of those mistakes. We'll present them, but also you have to 100% take a look at both sides of the equation and judge things for what's factually true or what could be true, and you have to be fair to the subject matter, right? Even some people say, what about the Keemstar documentary we watched? I think that was fair. That was very positive towards Keemstar, a lot of it. It showed that this guy was a determined businessman, that no matter what, he was not going to allow himself to be deterred by people taking down his channels, saying horrible things about him, that he was going to persevere. And that is something that being that determined to succeed and never giving up is actually a very positive thing for a person to have. When I watched that documentary on Keemstar, I didn't feel that it was 100% negative at all. I thought it was fair, but there's factually documented things about Keemstar that are in that documentary that make him look horrible because they're true, right? So that's the difference here between someone like June and these other people like Sunny V. I'm sorry, I've seen things 100% that Sunny V has said that are lies or not factually proven, but he presents them as facts to get shock out of his audience, and now he gets millions of views on it. It's fucked up. It shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be allowed on YouTube. But YouTube allows it because, again, unless you're rich and famous and you have money to slap them with an injunction order, oh, what you said is false, that's defamation, cease and desist, remove that video immediately or remove me from it. Unless you're rich, you can't do that. So you just put up with the repercussions, and this is an entire community on YouTube of people who do this shit. Why should someone be able to make their living presenting things as truth that is not? You shouldn't be able to, but YouTube allows it. It's messed up. I almost feel like one day, all right, it is going to change. I feel like one day what's going to happen is essentially, okay, what's going to happen is YouTube's going to get sued by someone. I feel it. I do feel that they're going to get sued, and then it's going to end because they're going to say at this point, you can't just constantly be pumping out defamatory content about people. As much as it's popular, we got to get to a point where it's not legally libelous to be putting out this content. You know what I'm saying? And it's insane right now because, again, I almost feel like we're in the formative years of YouTube as a site. With the past 15 years that I've been on YouTube, or the first 15 years that anyone even knew what YouTube was, when YouTube's 50 years old, it could be a completely different entity. I really do feel that this stuff will end at some point because you can't just destroy people on YouTube without facts attached. You can't just say, oh, because people don't like him and say this about him, it's true. You can't do that. That's illegal. So, but they get away with it on YouTube all the time. So I 100% understand what's going on in this situation. Someone is literally taking horrible actions against, you know, ruining his stream, harassing him in an online environment here. And, you know, why? Because I watched a video about you that says you're horrible. Okay? Do you even know the stuff that's factual? Well, the person said it was factually true in the video. That's not fair. Because I can tell you that that's not the case. The Sunny V does this shit. He's right. It's hypocritical of Wings to say it and not watch the video. I've watched the videos about me, and I know that shit's fucking fake. So, there you go. Anyway, this is a good place to end part 3 of DSP Reacts the Continual Fall of Wings of Redemption. Thank you for watching. If you're still watching, there's still more parts to come. I would say probably 2 more parts. All right. Thank you for watching. I hope that you guys will continue to watch. Thank you if you're liking the videos, leaving comments. I love that. Thank you so much if you're supporting in any way. Thank you for that. I'll be back shortly with more.